One. Hello everyone, welcome to Weeb the People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I'm your host, Daniel.
This episode is brought to you by the Sunfire meta. Welcome back, buddy. We hate you.
What's the Sunfire Windfire?
Funfire
Windfire. Oh, Funfire Windcape. That's what it is.
Funfire Windcape. That's
My
what it is,
God,
baby.
dude. We were playing last night, and literally that was the first time in Tank Champions I've ever played before in the jungle. Boom, we'd win. Because I was just like, oh, this item's busted. I just stand on them. Done. Yeah, so it's busted. In today's episode, we're doing Senpai Suggest number 9. Jake's out of town, so it's going to be Malconius and I. And we're just going to be giving some of our anime recommendations while gearing up for episode 101, which is going to be ID Invaded, our review episode of that. So we're just going to give out, really quick, just 4 anime recommendations, 2 from each of us. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Number 1, I've mentioned this before, I think in a previous Senpai Suggest, but I wanted to give it more, notice because Season 3 finally got announced for Winter 2020. So if you enjoy Isekai, you like MMOs, you enjoyed Sword Art Online, but you kind of wish there was more emphasis on like the world building or like politics and stuff rather than just the characters, then this is definitely the show for you.
Hey, there has to be like more than one anime about an MMO, right? Is it just Sword Art?
No, there's plenty.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think like the very first one that I could think of on the top of my head that like started the MMO isekai-ish thing is .hack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so that's like further in.
Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, they have some really good anime series, .hack. I've watched a couple, but I'm not recommending that for today. Yeah, Log Horizon. So, originally a light novel series written by Mamare Tono and illustrated by Kazuhiro Hara, and later turned anime, directed by Shinji Ishihira and animated by Studio Dean. So the setting is that of the MMORPG Elder Tale, and so far it had been a global success and millions of players played it worldwide. When the 12th expansion, Homesteading the Novosphere, or Novosphere Pioneers, depending on where you watch it on, releases, however, 30,000 Japanese players who are logged on at the same time are sent to the virtual world and trapped there as their player avatars. The story follows main characters Shiroe, Naotsuku, and Katsuki as they band together and try not only to survive, but live their lives in this new virtual world. So, like I mentioned before, I think what really separates this from its main competitor, or like main comparison point, which is Sword Art Online, is that with Sword Art Online, you have really big emphasis on the like characters and stuff, and that's not a bad thing, right? But then it gets kind of tropey in certain points, and Malcolm can attest to that. He's seen the first 2 seasons.
The power spikes get a little out of control.
Yeah, and it's really just focused on Kirito and the gang and his harem, and that's like it, right? But Log Horizon goes above and beyond that, and yeah, you have your main characters, the 3 that I mentioned before, but there's also like the mention of guilds and stuff, and like the politics between. If you've ever played an MMORPG, you'll definitely feel at home. You'll definitely understand a lot of the references that are going on, and they do
buying girlfriend.
Yeah, what is the RuneScape? Looking for GF 10 gold.
For GF. We'll trade 600 rune essence. Build your own runes.
Oh my God, that was always funny. But yeah, no, even if you don't really know MMORPGs, I still recommend this as an isekai anime because they still do a good job of explaining that gaming jargon. And it's really cool because then there's also the interactions between like the real players, whatever, and like the NPC players of the world. Because like the NPC players of Log Horizon aren't like just they don't work off just a script. They're actually like basically the real thing, but they're NPCs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're like AIs. So you could kill them, but then they won't feel anything, but you'll probably feel bad.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, I think the show's really well done. It clocks in around like 50 episodes-ish, split between 2 seasons. And then, like I said, Season 3 is coming out in winter 2020. And I think Season 3 is supposed to be just one core at 13 episodes. But yeah, I definitely enjoy it, and I definitely recommend it for any isekai, and especially if you like MMORPGs. So yeah, once again, Log Horizon, check it out.
Now it's on to me. And my recommendation this week is I'm planning on rewatching the show after I finish Gilmore Girls, which is 7 seasons. Each season having 24 episodes, and each episode is 45 minutes. So you can imagine the fucking time sink that this quarantine
Jesus
will take up
Christ.
with Gilmore Girls, but I'm loving every second of it. And this was one of my favorite animes growing up, and I spent tons of hours and used up batteries playing the Yu Yu Hakusho Spirit Detective Game Boy Advance game. And this is an action detective-ish mystery anime co-produced by Fuji Television, Yomiko Advertising, and Studio Pierrot. Pierrot?
Puro.
Parrot.
Parrot.
Who the fuck cares? Because you know what? They're never going to listen to this show. Just a little synopsis about the show that I stole from Funimation. From cutting class to brawling in the streets, Yusuke Urameshi is not your typical role model. In fact, the kid's nothing more than a 14-year-old delinquent with a talent for trouble. But in a single selfless act, Yusuke dies while saving another. By the way, fuck that kid. He was like getting yelled at by Yusuke to not play in the streets, and what does he do? Almost gets hit by a car. And then you watch the man get hit by a fucking car, episode 1. So if that's a triggering thing, probably don't watch this show, because it's all based around that. For such a noble sacrifice, he is given a second chance at life, but it's better to be a life far different. But it's to be a life far different than the one left behind. God, I should stop copying and pasting and like actually read this stuff beforehand. Now a spirit detective, the young man must track down demons and humans alike who desire to rule over the 3 realms of reality. Granted with new amazing powers to be used in the cause of good versus evil, Yusuke sets out for his first assignment, and he will gather together those who will fight alongside him. Kurabara, Yusuke's intellectually challenged former rival from high school, Kurama, an infamous thief from the demon world who inhabits the human body, and Hiei, a hot-headed demon skilled with both sword and a third eye. Open your third eye, brothers. And together they set forth to do battle with monsters. And just a little more background about the show. The series was written by Yoshihiro Togashi, who is also known for writing one of our soon-to-be top favorite anime recommendations, Hunter x Hunter. Daniel's on that grind. He's making it.
I'm almost there.
About to finish the...
I'm about to finish Chimera Ant arc. I'm on episode 135, I think. So I'm almost there.
I think that one peaks out at like 150 episodes, and this anime is only 112, so not as much of a time commitment, but it is still chock full of action and stuff like that. The manga was originally serialized in Japan's Shonen Jump from 1990 to 1994, but ran in America's Shonen Jump from 2003 to 2010, and I would have been
in 3rd grade
years old.
To sophomore.
Yeah, and that sounds about the right time for me to mold my life into an anime nerd who's getting bullied in middle school. So, yeah, thanks you, Yu Hakusho. Thanks to Gashi. The manga won the Shogakun Manga Award for Shonen Manga in 1993, and the anime won the Anime Grand Prix prize from the popular anime magazine Animage in 1994 and 1995. So that you can bet this show is certified #good. An alternative title that could have dethroned the household name Yu Yu Hakusho was How to Be a Ghost. Imagine telling people your favorite show is How to Be a Ghost. Sounds like a little knockoff MTV show. 16 and Pregnant, and also How to Be a Ghost, tonight at 7 o'clock. But in the end, Yu Yu Hakusho was chosen because it translates quite literally to Poltergeist Report. And originally, Togashi wanted to write a manga based on his love of the occult and horror films. And he had already written a previous occult detective fiction manga called Occult Tantiren, which got good reception, so he thought, let me just ride this train. But he knew that he had to create a fighting manga to gain popularity among his more well-known fellow authors. So that's why Yu Yu Hakusho kind of loses the whole spirit detective plot and kind of just goes into like full action anime tournament fighting mode.
I will say, sorry to interrupt, but for Yu Yu Hakusho, I think Yu Yu Hakusho really established the fact of the whole tournament fighting arcs in anime thing. Like that was like one of the very first times that it actually happened. So now whenever like the quintessential anime tournament arc happens, right, you can thank Yu Yu Hakusho for setting that up. Because, man, that was like the most hyped thing that had ever happened during our childhood. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. And
I was debating saying it was like one of the first, but I didn't know if it was that or the Cell tournament, which came first. And I want to say Yu Yu Hakusho did it first.
I'm pretty sure Yu Yu Hakusho did it first.
Eat my dick, Dragon Ball Z.
Because even the Cell Saga tournament, that's not really a tournament.
Yeah.
That's just them ganging up on Cell and hoping for the best.
And oh boy, that took forever. But this one had the whole bracket system going from the bottom to the top, and that shit
Yeah.
was so good. But he intended to use the early chapters of the manga to help you develop a rapport with the characters before getting into the action stuff. So that's why he started off with the whole, I'm a spirit detective. I got a second chance on life, and I'm going to kick your ass with a gun made from my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And while he worked on the manga, he would work on a schedule of 4 hours per page and then a 5 hour sleep per night. And eventually doing that, he overworked himself in the final 6 months of production due to inconsistent sleep. And even though he had a full editorial staff and everything, he would sometimes create entire manuscripts by himself. And so with the declining health, the publication asked Togashi, hey man, you should probably maybe cancel this and go to the hospital. And he was like, if I stop doing this manga, I will literally just make another popular manga instead. And that will ruin my health. And I mean, he finished the thing and it was great. And then he moved on to do Hunter x Hunter. So the man lived up to his word. And just to wrap this up, the anime is 112 episodes and you can watch it today on Hulu or on Funimation. That is Yu Yu Hakusho.
I was pretty sure that there was like a Yu Yu Hakusho remake was announced not too long ago, but I don't remember.
Huh?
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure I heard that. If someone could verify that, I don't want to type on my keyboard because it's super loud, as you all know. But I'm pretty sure I heard that maybe like a year ago was when I heard talks about there being a remake, and that's why I was holding off on rewatching it because I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until the.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I saw that on Twitter too, but it still blows my mind that they would remake Yu Yu Hakusho before finishing Hunter x Hunter.
Because it's, I guess, like.
The people want it so bad.
Yeah, because I mean, remaking Yu Yu Hakusho would be easier than to finish Hunter x Hunter because, like you said, the mangaka, his health is like all fucked up. So
yeah, my man ain't doing too hot.
Yeah, no, we've been waiting for years for Hunter x Hunter to keep going, but as you can tell, we're still stuck there. So
Rip.
But yeah, cool. Yu Yu Hakusho, check it out. Number 3 on the list. This one's a more low-key one, and this is one I definitely want to watch on the podcast, so keep your eyes peeled for this. But if you enjoy mysteries, like if you enjoyed ID Invaded and you're just waiting for us to do our review episode, you're looking for like more mysteries and then thrillers like that, but still have like action-packed sequences and stuff, definitely check out Rokka, Brave of the Six Flowers. Brave of the Six Flowers started off as a Japanese light novel series written by Ishio Yamagata with illustrations by Miyagi, then becoming an animated by Studio Passion. Passion. I don't know.
You sure that's not a character from fucking Golden Wind?
Yeah. Golden Wind. Giorno Giovanni.
I have a dream.
I have a dream. But yes.
Holy shit.
So in Brave of the Six Flowers, 6 people known as the Brave of the Six Flowers are chosen by the goddess of fate to defeat the demon god. However, when they gather together in the aforementioned meeting spot, there are 7 heroes present, leading them to believe that one of them is an imposter on the side of the demon god. So basically in this show, what's going on is they're supposed to meet up, and then once they meet up, then the 6 Braves are supposed to go out together into the neighboring demon country and like try to beat and kill the demon god. But yeah, like I mentioned before, there's an imposter there, so in the entire time, they're like, wait, we legit can't move on until we figure out who this imposter is. So like the entire, like...
Among Us, the prequel.
It really is, and it's so good, bro. There's so much, like, the character dynamics constantly are changing and evolving. What?
This is starting to sound like Astro Lost in Space now. Where they originally thought someone was an imposter.
Right, but no, it's like... Yeah, in this one, they have to figure out who the real 6 heroes are, and then try to figure out who the imposter is. So then when you're watching the show, like for me, I was always trying to figure out who it was. And I think, I mean, this has already been maybe 4 or 3 years since I've watched this show. But I think by like halfway in, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's this person. And then sure enough, I was like, what's good? Gang, gang.
Yeah, you should have written it down on a piece of paper, mailed it to yourself, and opened it after that episode and been like,
look at it. But yeah, no, so I definitely recommend it if you're into like mysteries and thrills and you like to try to solve cases before they're finished, but like still like to watch the outcome. And the animation's super well done. The fight sequences are really well done. Each of the characters has like unique powers and stuff. and the way those powers interact with each other is really well done. So definitely check it out. Brave of the Six Flowers. I believe it's still on Crunchyroll. I don't think it's on Hulu, but for sure Crunchyroll. Go check it out.
And our final recommendation for this episode is a movie that I watched approximately 3 to 4 weeks ago for the very first time in my life. And that movie is a Miyazaki classic, Howl's Moving Castle. That movie is based on a 1986 novel of the same name, which translated in Japan to The Wizard's Howl and the Devil of Fire, written by British writer Diana Wynne Jones. So keep in mind, this movie is based on a book that was written in 1986. And the movie revolves around a girl named Sophie, a young hat maker who encounters a wizard named Howl on her way to visit her sister. Upon returning home, she meets the Witch of the Waste, who transforms her into a 96-year-old woman. Nope, not 96, just 90.
Nice.
I was thinking about 69, made that backwards, and oh boy. Yikes. Seeking to break the curse, Sophie leaves home and sets off through the countryside. She meets a living scarecrow, whom she calls Turnip Head, and he leads her to Howl's Moving Castle, where she enters without invitation. She subsequently meets Howl's young apprentice, Markle, and the fire demon named Calcifer, who is the source of the castle's magic and movement. When Howl appears, Sophie announces that she just hired herself as the cleaning lady. In truth, Calcifer has made a deal with Sophie to break her curse if she breaks his link with Howl. And this film was originally going to be directed by Mamoru Hosoda of Toei Animation, but Studio Ghibli rejected most of his concept ideas and kind of just let it sit on the shelves until Miyazaki took it over. So
they were like,
on you,
nah, bro.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, but what if the castle had 8 legs? And they're like, no, it's not Howl's Octopus Castle, you dipfuck, get out of here. And Miyazaki was like, 2 legs and 10 turrets. And they're like, here's the money, baby, go do your thing. And the first half of the film is relatively faithful to the original novel, but the second half changed completely during development because Miyazaki added themes of war that are not present in the source material. The author, Diana Wynne Jones, her only request was that Miyazaki not change Howl's character, and she watched the movie and gave it a positive impression, saying that it retained some of the spirit of her original work. And while the book focuses on challenging class and gender norms, the film focuses on love and personal loyalty and the destructive effects of war. And this is because Miyazaki was very opposed to the US's invasion of Iraq in 2003. So that's why the film contains I know, right? I was like, okay, Miyazaki is a comrade. Yes, let's fight this shit. Brother Miyazaki, welcome to the rebellion.
Yeah, welcome to the fold, brother.
And because of his little anti-war themes, he stated he had a great deal of rage about the Iraq war, which led him to make him think that the film would be poorly received in the US, which I'm about to make a very wild thing that without reading this, I thought like, now he's just horseshitting himself. The movie was nominated for the Oscar at the 78th Academy Awards, but it lost to Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. To think the people at the fucking Oscars thought Wallace and Gromit were above a Miyazaki film is insane.
And this is why anime films will never do good in the Oscars if there's no like representation.
Yeah, Miyazaki was like, hey, US, you done fucked up in Iraq. And they're like, eat shit, bro, Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, Your Name, Weathering with You, any Miyazaki films? Nah, bro.
Fuck it.
Man.
It's all about Wallace and Gromit, I know. But in 2013, Miyazaki said that Howl's Moving Castle was his favorite creation. Who knows about this new one coming out eventually, if the dude ever puts it out. But he explained that he wanted to convey the message of life. He wanted to convey that the message in the movie is that life is worth living, and I don't think that's changed. And just a little fun fact, Howl is played by Batman's very own Christian Bale. And the fire demon, Calcifer, is played by Billy Crystal. I don't know where Miyazaki gets the fucking people to voice act as shit, like the fourth Jonas brother to play Ponyo in Ponyo. But
Malcolm's
who
favorite
knows? He's
movie.
got some weird fucking pull. Whatever he does, I want in on it.
It works.
But you can watch this movie today on HBO Max because they've got the entire Studio Ghibli collection on there.
Oh.
And that is Howl's Moving Castle.
Well, there you go, y'all. Once again, the 4 recommendations: Log Horizon, Yu Hakusho, Brave of the Six Flowers, and Howl's Moving Castle. Go check them out if you've never checked them out before, or if you just want a more in-depth look at it. We definitely recommend all of these. It was fun doing this. So, yeah, anything else you want to bring up, mention before we wrap it up for tonight?
Just to let everybody know, I have just gotten a digital tablet, did a first sketch, put that shit on our Instagram. Sorry, I cursed. I almost went this entire episode without cursing.
Yeah, I think I ruined that. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I don't grow. It's fine. I'm
It's
gonna
hard.
be stagnant for the rest
It really
of my
is.
life. I am also getting a gaming computer, a little desktop, building my own first PC next week. So once I get that done, and now that I have a MIDI keyboard, expect a lot more creative content to come from the Weeb the People brand. Just to look forward to that.
Yep, and I got my second monitor and a capture card, so that'll be in next week. So hopefully, because right now my schedule unfortunately does not allow me to do consistent scheduling. Hence why it's going to be awesome for Malcolm to be able to stream on the weekends. Meanwhile, I can stream whenever I have time. And
hey guys, welcome to your 10 a.m. League of Legends pro stream.
So yeah, but look forward to more streams in the future. We mentioned it in episode 100. We might stream tonight. I don't know. By the time y'all listen to this, who knows? It'll be too late. But keep looking forward to it, and we'll always check out our Twitter. That's where we're mostly going to be doing just like last minute. Hey, we're doing this. Check out, show up. So yeah, with that, we would like to thank Joakim Karud for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoy listening to us, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If video format is more of your thing, then check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Weeb the People Podcast. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people. Facebook page, Weeb the People, an anime podcast. And finally, our Instagram, Weeb the People Podcast. This gets harder and harder every single time. And if you have any questions, either DM us on Twitter or any of our social medias and email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I'm your host, Daniel.
If you realize that Miyazaki changed the entire ending of a book to criticize the United States for fucking up the entire country of Iraq, you might want to rethink your proper... I don't know. We fucked up. We fucked up in the Iraq War. Miyazaki fucking railed us for it, and then he lost to Wallace and Gromit. Remember that for the rest of your goddamn life. My name is Malcolm Hamilton.
This has been Weeb the People, and have a great evening.